All right, good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, August the 30th. This is day 3 of 1.03. So I think on Friday we talked about doing the quiz then, but I looked and I split day 2 of 1.03 into 2 days. So this is the second half of day 2 of 1.03, if that makes any sense. If you did the quiz of 1.03 on Friday, you would do just fine. This isn't, I would say, a necessity to do well on that test or that quiz, sorry. But here's the lesson: synthetic substitution. We're going to evaluate functions synthetically. I did, Isaiah. I sure did. All right, make sure you have your paper, pencil, and calculator. All right, synthetic substitution. So, well, before, if I said evaluate this function with, when x equals 4, we would all plug in this number into every x value that we saw, right? So we'd have 4 cubed minus 6 times 4 squared plus 9 times 4 plus 18. We would do the math like we've been doing for the last, I don't know, decade or longer, however long we've been doing this, to get their answer. And that's great, right? But there's a different way we could approach the same problem. And instead of plugging in 4, plug and chug, we're going to use synthetic substitution. Now, we talked about this on Friday about getting the remainder, right? So when you plug in this 4, or when talking about like a binomial and plugging in the number, the remainder, right? Remember this last number, if it was 0, told us like x minus 4 would be a factor of this polynomial. But we can look at it a different way. We can say, well, we want to evaluate this function with, 4. So we're going to set it up the same. So we're going to have a placeholders, the 1, the -8, the 9, the 18. Whatever we're plugging in, we're going to have on the outside. So nothing's really changed here, right? From last week. And we're going to do synthetic division, or sorry, we're going to do synthetic substitution. And the answer we get right here is going to be the answer as if we were to plug it in directly. And again, you may have made this connection Friday of that's what it is. But now we're actually doing it that way. So we're going to drop the first one. Then 4 times 1 is 4. -8 plus 4 is -4. Times 4 is -16. Plus 9 is -7. Times 4 is -28. And then 18 minus 28 is -10. So that means f of 4 is equal to -10. And again, if we were to take this 4 and plug it into the x here, here, and here, and we simplified, we would get the exact same answer. That is called synthetic substitution. I am usually standing. Yeah, I'm sitting down this morning. What's the difference? The difference is how you look at it. So before we were talking about binomials. So for this problem, we'd be talking about x minus 4, and we would be doing, all right, take this divided by x minus 4. So this is a different situation. For this one, I'm giving you the polynomial, and I'm telling you to evaluate f of 4. So same idea, same setup, just different way of looking at it. So again, when you plug this in, the number at the very end, that is the answer. as if you were to take this 4 and plug it directly in and simplifying it. Yes. So either way works. We can do this way, or we can just do a simple plug and chug. Your answer will be identical. All right, I'm going to go ahead and solve this one synthetically. I'm going to give all of you, let's say 1 minute. That should be plenty of time. All right, ready to go. All right, in chat, what did everyone get for the answer? What is f of 1 equal to? One equals 1. One does in fact equal 1. So with that, just quickly set it up. Don't forget the placeholders, right? So we have x to the 5th, 4th. We're missing x to the 3rd. We have x squared. We're missing x to the 1st. And we have our constant. So don't forget your placeholders. Again, I always like to do the check. So we start at 5. So it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, none. Always make sure your placeholders. Quickly do it. Drop the 7. Times the 1 is 7. Minus 13 is negative 6. Times 1 is negative 6. Plus 0 is negative 6. Times 1 is negative 6. Minus 3 is negative 9. Times 1 is negative 9. Plus 0 is negative 9. Times 1 is negative 9. And then plus your 10 is positive 1. Again, if you were to just take this x equals 1 and plug and chug this, you would get the exact same answer. So that is synthetic substitution. So you still need placeholders. You would still need placeholders. Now I kind of see what you're saying, that if you forgot them in this scenario, it would you would still get the same answer, right? But that will probably only work, like you said, is if you're plugging in a 1, right? Any other scenario, that probably would not work. I know. Good observation, though. All right, let's try these 4 examples. So I'd like you to evaluate all 4 of these synthetically. Now, if you want to do both ways, do it synthetically first and then just plug and chug, see if you get the same answer. But when you have all 4 answers, add up all 4 answers and you should get 22. If when you do all 4, you add up all 4 answers, you don't get 22, it means one or more of your answers are wrong. Does that make sense? The sum of all 4 answers should be 22. That's a good way to check. So you finish, you add them all up, you get 22, you probably did them all right. Let's do 4 minutes. I think 4 minutes might be enough to get all 4 done. A minute per, right? Let's do 4 minutes. All right. Ready, go. See, a lot of you are tabbed out. Are you not working or are you working? Got another minute left. So don't circle it, box your answer. All right, so those of you that were able to finish all 4 in 4 minutes, let's see, did all of you get 22 when you added up the answers? Then give the unimpressed face if you are still working. So sad face if you finished all 4 but couldn't get 22 as the sum. Happy face if you finished all 4 and you got 22 as the sum. And the middle one if you're still working. All right. I'll give you another minute, but before we do, let's talk about if you're maybe stuck. So it looks like we're half and half. And what is the sum of the two answers for the top two? What's that sum add up to? 8. Yep. So the two answers you get for the top two should add up to 8. What do the two right problems add up to? Two right problems. The answer to this one, the answer to this one. I would agree. They add up to 17. All right. So this answer and this answer add up to 17. So we talked about these two answers add up to 8. These two answers add up to 17. So that should help you narrow down which one your mistake is in, right? All right, what do the bottom two answers add up to? What do the bottom two answers add up to? 14. Yes, I would agree with you. The bottom two add up to 14. And what do the left two answers add up to? 5. Yes, so these two add up to 5. So kind of go through it again. The top two add up to 8. The right two add up to 17. The bottom two add up to 14. And the left two add up to 5. So should kind of give you a hint of maybe which one you messed up on and give you 1 minute to try to fix anything. All right. All right, so now that you get another minute to try to correct one or more of the ones that you worked on, were you able to get 22 as the sum for all 4? Some of you fell asleep, not responding. And most of you, me too. All right, let's go through it. All right, what is the answer to the first one? 0. Yes. 0. What's the answer to the second one? Top right. 8. Yep. What about the bottom left? What's that answer? 5. And the bottom right answer? 9. All right. So let's go through all of these. All right, the setup. 4, 1, -29, -30. Top right. In chat, what was your setup for inside the, I don't know, giant L? What are the numbers that you put? Yeah, for the top right, what are the numbers that you put right here? 3, -4, 0, and 0. Did any of you forget a placeholder? Curious, anybody forget a placeholder? Remember, always double check. Did any of you put just one placeholder and just forget the last one? The mistake. So you always check, right? So we start at 3, so it goes 3, 2, 1, none. Always say it out loud. I always do. 3, 2, 1, none. Going to this first one. 3, 2, 1, none. Always check placeholders. All right, the bottom left. What are those placeholders? Or sorry, what are those numbers? 4, -4, 1, -1, 4. Just a typo, right? 0, not 1. Okay, yeah. 4, -4, 0, -1, 4. -4, sorry. What about the bottom right? What are those numbers to set it up? 6603, -6. So the hard part about synthetic substitution or even synthetic division is setting it up. Once it's set up and it's right, it's super simple. Do you agree? Yeah, but you always got to make sure you have placeholders. Always got to have those placeholders because you forget one of them or more, your answer will probably be wrong. All right. All right, so let's do another minute. So those of you who need to make corrections can quickly do that. So 1 minute to make any corrections. All right, so after those corrections, were you all able to get the sum to be 22? All right, everyone that's still here said yes. So that means we'll quickly go through this. So we got 0 for the first one. 8 for the second one. 5 for the third one. 9 for the last one. All right. So just curious in chat, learning this and how you can use synthetic substitution to evaluate a polynomial. Do you like this way better, or do you see yourself still just taking, for example, this 3 and doing the good old plug and chug? What do you think you'll use in the future? So it depends. I think that's a fair answer, right? You like it, but maybe on a test you'll just do plug and chug. Okay. Yeah, old habits, right? The tried and true method. Right? Somebody says it depends. I think it really depends on how long your polynomial is. If you had like x to the sixth power, x to the fifth, fourth, and so on, and you're plugging in like, I don't know, like 5 or 6, synthetic division will probably be a lot faster. Now, the only problem with synthetic substitution is if your placeholders, if you forget placeholders, it, you potentially will have disaster, right? But it's another tool in your toolbox, and if you like doing it this way to evaluate a function, there you go. If you like to just plug and chug, tried and true method, do it that way. Either way is fine. All right. Any other questions before we stop for today? All right. Well, as always, thanks for showing up, and I hope you learned something. See you all tomorrow.